and welcome back to another speed build video. Today I just thought I would take a break and instead of building a home, a community lot, cast, whatever, and change it up a little bit and build an apartment for the family that I shared the 11th. Molly Becker, her teenage son Jaden, her child's son Jacob, and her toddler John. I really struggled here, like you see with the floor plan, trying to figure out how to fit 3 bedrooms and a bathroom in this tiny little. It's the 2B Jasmine Suites in the Spice District, I believe. Yeah, I just go a lot of back and forth here. I really wanted Jaden, the oldest, to have his own room since I have him kind of as like the playboy and the teenager. I just feel like him being as big as he is, he shouldn't be sharing a room with his little brothers. I'm just placing furniture here for like placement, trying to figure out like the layout of how I wanted it. I think I end up making this room that I just diagonaled the wall on. I end up making it Jacob and John's room. Um, I put Jaden's room next to Molly's, which I feel like she did that on purpose so he couldn't sneak like girl Sims and yada yada yada. But I really like I love how this apartment turned out. I love those tiles because I wanted it to look like the apartment's really dated, but she got it really cheap. Um, like I said in the cast, like she makes creations and sells them, so I figured like she knits, she makes jewelry, she I don't know, like bakes and grows herbs or whatever, even though I didn't put any planters in here because that was my first like my first thought. And I did this little trick right here, which I absolutely loved. I loved how it turns out the screenshots in the end. I turned those windows backwards because I really wanted them to be brown on the inside. I remember 7 years ago when I was first playing with City Living, I remember you couldn't even move the windows that were on the pre-made apartments. Like you had to work around them. But yeah, I like the fact that I made it like you'll see like later on. I paused right there, probably telling my 3-year-old to get down because we're in the stage where we climb. But I used I guess they're like wall stains, mold, grime, and like gross stuff, and that we got from the basement treasures, the kid. Um, and I made it look like the windows were dirty on the outside because obviously she's 5 floors up and she can't get out there and clean it. But yeah, in this kitchen turned out absolutely adorable. But it definitely fought me. Like I had so many placement issues. I really, at first, yeah. But like the cabinets, you'll see, like they fight me. That's probably because it's in a diagonal room. But originally I put the stove from the restoration workshop stuff. Is it workshop stuff or restoration workshop for the kid? I ended up changing that. I got that. Usually it's broke down, and your Sims have to work to get it where it's functional. I put in the BB dot show hidden objects cheat and unlocked it. Yeah, but I don't think I end up keeping all this stuff in placing. I'm just like going through the menu and placing things here and there that I think would look cute here. Um, yeah, and right there I placed that floor model TV that's from the restoration workshop, but I don't actually end up keeping that. I end up getting one of the other TVs. I think it's from the Basement Treasures kit or whatever, and I end up just using the bracket keys on my keyboard and sizing that up and placing that up against the wall. So I get like a floor model because I feel like Molly, she doesn't have a lot of money. She knits and sells her things. She sells her handmade jewelry and things here and there and like whatever, and she doesn't have a lot of money, so she like likes to go to Copperdale to the thrift shops, and she likes to go to the yard sales in the city, and she just like her furniture is secondhand and has a lot of wear and tear, and you can see that throughout the build. Like, yeah, you can see that throughout the build. Like the furniture is like wear and tear. I actually end up using a sofa in the living room from the basement treasures, that pink one I just placed down. And we're going back to the kitchen. I love that rolling trolley like cart thing, but the only disadvantage to that is the microwave does not like microwaves and like kitchen appliances like the coffee makers and the microwaves and the rice cookers and crock pots or whatever instant pots pressure cooker I think is what it is, don't snap onto that. And I actually that's what but the only thing I hate about the item, like I really wish like you could snap your microwave on that because where I'm from, a lot of people that have those have their microwave sitting on it. I end up moving it over, and right here I'm fighting with the cabinets, but I end up moving it over and putting a stacked washer and dryer in there. I really wanted to put a hutch in here, and I ended up putting it right there. But I ended up actually moving that, and I put the washer and dryer against the diagonal wall right there, and put the hot water heater in the circuit breaker box from the restoration workshop. I think it is. There might be Business and Hobbies. I'm not sure. But yeah, I fought trying to figure out how to work the cabinets above the stove, like placement, and I ended up thinking, well, this may not work because it is from like the debug menu. So I ended up going with the one from the country. It's like a country kitchen. It's a kit. It's a little like it reminds me of the stoves from like the 20s and 30s you see in movies, not necessarily wood burning stoves, but um like older stoves, you know. And I love the refrigerator end up placing. I think that's from the cottage living. Is that what it's called? Yeah. But yeah, I love how the kitchen turned out. I love how the living room turned out. But my favorite room in this entire apartment has to by far be the kitchen because the kitchen just looks lived in. It looks cute. You can tell like the furniture is I just feel like Molly, she like gets things that people throw out that's next to the trash, brings them home, restores them, cleans them up, or she gets Jaden to do it for her, and they place them in the apartment. Um, I really love that shelf right there. I just put those cooking spoons down under. It's from the Tiny Living. I use it a lot. Um, but right here, I'm still arguing with the stove and hood wrench. There we go. That's the one I settle on, and it does work. I play tested everything. Um, the way that I have it, it does work. They can use the sink. I'm trying to figure out. Like, I love the chairs for this from the high school years, but I don't care for the table. Then when I put it on that table, the tablecloth like clipped into it. I think I ended up going with table and chairs and with the little flower tablecloth from Cottage Living. Yeah, this one. But I ended up changing the chairs out to the one from Cottage Living. I absolutely adore those chairs with the little like seating cushion. Funny enough, I ended up making the tablecloth in the kitchen actually match the wallpaper in Molly's room, which I thought was pretty funny. I'm stacking all the little like containers, the macaroni and whatnot, like your raw noodles. And I love this. Oops, there's a little glitch. I can't edit them all out because I can't. No matter how much I edit, I'll always catch them. So I promise I will get better at clipping those out. But it's just for like 10 seconds, you know. Um, if you notice in my speed builds or my speed builds, I bounce around a lot. I do apologize for that. I have ADHD, so like I'll be scrolling through the build and buy mode, like if I'm building a normal lot instead of an apartment. And I'll like see this, like say it's a thermostat. Well, I'm gonna put the thermostat on the wall and I'll be scrolling some more. I'll be like, oh, this will look cute here, and I'll be back outside in the build. I do apologize for that. If you're gonna watch Sims Levy, you're just gonna have to, saddle up, buckle up, buttercup, and just enjoy the ride. I do apologize, but I like the idea of putting the like broken down window units, like window ACs, air conditionings in the windows, because I feel like, they've probably been there for as long as they've been available. I love the idea of this open fuse box. Like, I feel like Jaden is definitely the man of the house since his father's not around. So if something breaks down, he like in my head, like they had something going on with the fuse box, and they have like what we hear, like some in the part of the U.S. that I grew up in, we call them slumlords. Like they don't really, you call them, and they're not really gonna do anything about it. So I feel like they wouldn't do too much about the circuit box. So Jaden like opened it, was like working on it, and now he can't get it to stay closed, so they just decided to leave it open. I absolutely adore how the little bathroom turned out. Like I definitely had a time playing in this little bitty bathroom trying to, furnish it, trying to make it look like then. I like the idea of the toilet brush and plunger that we got from the bathroom clutter kit. I love the little wall switches we got from the bathroom clutter kit. I love these little towels. I think that was also bathroom clutter. I like the idea of all the little clutter kits. And I like the radiators that I unlocked, and I have no idea where I got them from. I think they're cottage living because I haven't used them too much. But yeah, and this is the parenthood shower and the laundry day laundry basket. And I love like taking little clutter things and putting them in the bathtubs and showers, like the little bath sponge thing hanging on with the toilet paper and, you know, like cluttering up the bathroom, making it look lived, like the toothpaste tube right there. It looks like someone, down to the last bit of toothpaste. But Yeah, and I don't know where this little shelf came from that I hung on the wall. I'm not too sure. I think that may have been, was it growing together or whatever? Not sure. Yeah, I placed the broom and dustpan next to the little fuse box and the ironing board. When I was growing up, the apartment that I grew up in had an ironing board like that in the living room, and you just like, in the living room, excuse me, in the kitchen wall, the little stack of washer and dryer, we had like a little closet. You open it, and on the door it had this ironing board that excuse me, you unhook from the top right there, and it just like folds, slides down the wall, and like stands up against the floor, and you can iron your clothes and then fold it back up. Like in my mind, that's what that one does for Molly to use it. Um, but yeah, like I said, I love that little cart. The only downfall is the microwave and stuff doesn't clip to it. Where I'm from, like we use those as microwave carts. But, you know, but here I'm just like cluttering up the kitchen, making it look like, a family lives here. I could imagine, a tiny apartment like this, like in real life with a mom and three boys. I have a little boy and I only have one and he's three and oh my Lord, he keeps me on my toes. Definitely 100% on my toes. Like we're in the stage right now where we climb. And I couldn't imagine being Molly and having three boys with no one else to help me. Thank God for my husband and my family. Like, I couldn't imagine being in a tiny apartment with three boys on my own. I think I actually That's from the kitchen clutter kit, the little flour and eggs and spoon. Think I actually end up taking that out because obviously she needs somewhere to prep the food, and I don't mind. I don't think most people mind when the animations clip through the clutter, but I do because I don't feel like it's for realistic gameplay. But yeah, I placed that stand up fan right there, thinking maybe the air conditioning, it does blow, but it doesn't blow well, so it doesn't blow through the kitchen. So when she's cooking, she has the air conditioning on and she has that stand-up fan in front of it, so it blows the cool air through the apartment, the living room, and the kitchen. Since the living room doesn't have any windows. Here I'm just kind of like struggling with the curtains, and I think I end up, yeah, with the pull-down type shades. I end up like yellow, tan color. I just figured like maybe one day they were like way back when they were white, and over time they're like, no one ever pulled them down to wash them or change them out, so they like discolored with age. Um, Not sure where the little menu board comes from, but I love using it, like putting it on in the kitchen because I feel like she would write down this week's, dinner or whatever. She would like let the kids know that this is what we're having for dinner for this day and that day. Here I'm just kind of like going through, like I said, if I scroll and I find something that like, oh, it looked good in this room, I'm definitely 100% gonna go back to that room. Here I'm just like arguing with the swatches for that Parenthood shower, and I settle on the one that's like, again, discolored, like old school plastic. In the living room, I used the wallpaper from City Living because it's like discolored or whatnot. Placed a little couch there, some hanging bags and shelf by the door. I love taking those little cluttered, just from the everyday clutter kit, the little hanging bags with the little pegs. Usually, like most summers that I've watched, put them on like a bedroom door or whatever. I like clipping them into like the shelf that hang by the door with like the handbags or purses or mail. Um, See, I put the wood stove there. I switched that with the placement of that chair. That is, I just moved it out. That is the floor model TV from the Basement Treasures kit that you have to like have your Sims work on and fix up. I ended up taking another one from Basement Treasures and just like sizing it up with the bracket keys, like placing, I think it's an old school radio, a lamp, and a lamp on top. 'Cause I just feel like I said, she finds things like she bought that and it was broke down and Jaden managed to get it to work. Here I'm just placing like some mold and these are like, I guess, storm drains or whatever. I use them as like air conditioning vents. I feel like, way back when it did have central air conditioning, but now it's broken. So they're just still there, obviously. But here I'm just like placing some discoloration. Like I said, placing like grime on the windows where it's not necessarily inside the apartment, it's just on the outside. Um, yeah, I do apologize for like the little clips where you can see OBS. I tried to edit most of them out. Like I said, I have a 3-year-old son, and we're in the stage where we climb. And most of the time when that happens, he's either climbing up on something and I have to like quickly stop recording to go in and tell him like, no, stop, we don't do that. Um, but yeah, I do apologize. I tried to edit all of them out. Unfortunately, I'm only one person and I can't edit them all out because I'm still learning how to use Filmora 15. Um, it's been 7 years since I've used Filmora or OBS. I used to have a Sims channel called Sims Angel, and then COVID happened, and I was doing it during COVID to give me something to do. And then unfortunately, my laptop crashed. I guess I got malware or whatever for some bad CC or bad mods or whatever. Because I didn't know, like, you can't necessarily download all zip files from certain websites. Mostly if I want to use mods, I use, like, what's it called? CurseForge or Forge Curse. I don't know what it's called. The Sims resource, or I download it directly from the creator, like the debtor pool, MC Command Center. I got that directly from the creator. I have the MC Woohoo to so teen pregnancy can happen because I just feel like teen pregnancy does happen. You know, I have family members who were teen parents, and I just feel that's realistic. I have a mod in my game that allows parents to be upset when they find out their teen is pregnant. Played with that gameplay a little bit. That was really cool. Yeah, I'm just kind of like doing Jacob and John's room, like, make it to where their mom, like, I don't know, she found an old trunk and she turned it into a toy box. Here I'm just bouncing around the apartment, play some light switches. Yeah, but I feel like she found an old trunk at a yard sale or a flea market, and she was like, "Oh, this would make the perfect toy box for Jacob and John." So she brought it home, cleaned it up, painted it or whatever, and turned it into a toy chest. Here I'm just like figuring out some curtains for them. And it did take me a minute to figure out some curtains. You'll see me bounce around with wallpaper. I think I settle on the dinosaur wallpaper. I don't actually settle on the sports wallpaper. Don't get me wrong, I love this wallpaper from Parenthood. I do. I just feel like because, there's not a sports bedding for that toddler bed that we get from Cottage Living or from the bunk bed that I'm using, I think is also from Cottage Living. But yeah, I bounce around a lot. And like I said, I do apologize. I have ADHD, so I can't really help it. It's just the way my brain works. So, yeah, like I said, I don't settle with that wallpaper in the boys' room because, I don't like the idea that the bedding doesn't match. I do it, like, I don't like the idea, but like, I'm in Molly's room right now, like, figuring out how she goes. I ended up building her like a dressing area that I absolutely adore. Um, but yeah. I adore how it turned out. I adore the fact that little flower wallpaper. Like I feel like that's Molly. Like Molly's cast doesn't seem like she's very girly, but that's probably because she goes to like thrift stores and secondhand places and gets her clothes. She probably goes to like clothes. What do you call them? Clothes drives or whatever, and gets her and the boys' clothes. Like maybe she made these curtains out of an old bed sheet or a tablecloth. You never know. Like when I see the curtains that are in the room next to her, that's like in Jacob and John's room, I feel like they would have probably most likely been like a bed blanket or a sheet. And she was like, well, the boys need curtains to block out the lights so they can sleep peacefully. So she like, I don't know, cut them up and turned them into curtains. And I absolutely love this like mirror armoire dresser thing that we got from the horse ranch expansion pack, but I actually don't end up leaving that because I didn't like the way the mirror was blocked by the clothes. But I ended up doing like some bracket key number 9, number 0 magic with the dresser and end up making like a mirror to go on it. But I just put the clock on that dressing table. It actually in gameplay clips into the wall, so I ended up actually moving it. And I think I put it in the living room on top of the TV eventually. But yeah, um, you see in the living room, I put the blank picture frames we got with growing together because I just feel like if you were to download these, which are on the gallery, they're on the gallery, they're uploaded as rooms. But yeah, they're uploaded as rooms, and you have to put room by room. But at least you're watching this video, so you know how to place the rooms. Here we are in Jaden's room. I love how Jaden's room is like minimalist. I can't. Excuse me. I'm from Southern Georgia in the U.S. I can't say that word, but like it's very he has like where he mows lawns and does the manual labor job on the weekends, or maybe he works fast food or whatever. He's very hands on with it. Like he works with his hands. Maybe he works on a car because I do have like some custom careers. Maybe I'll give him like the custom career in my save file because I have a CC career where it makes him an auto mechanic. So maybe I'll do that where he's very hands on. Um, but I feel like maybe he just buys secondhand things like his mom because he figures it's cheaper. I love the idea of putting the fan at the foot of his bed. Maybe his AC, like, it puts out, but it doesn't put out a whole lot, and he can't service it because he'd have to go outside. And obviously, you're 4 floors up. You're not gonna go outside to service an air conditioning. Um, but yeah, um, this is the Becker single mom with 3 boys apartment speed build, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this. So, yeah, I'll leave you the rest of the 7 minutes just for like, well, you know what? I'll just talk the rest of the way. That's fine. I'm just cluttering up the apartment, doing a little clutter here and there to make it look more lived in. But yeah, I love the idea of like raising up that tea kettle that I just placed in the kitchen before. Here I am like shoving some things under Jaden's bed. Obviously because he has like the wood drawer bed, I feel like, maybe when he pulls out the drawers the clothes like come out and they overspill and when he pushes them back in because he doesn't really care because he's like carefree Jaden, hard player, Casanova, they just like get wedged under the bed so they're like sticking out everywhere. But yeah, I'm just like cluttering up Molly's like little, I don't know, like dresser area. Like maybe she stands there and does her hair and makeup before work. I haven't figured out what career I want to make her. I think I just want to make her like I don't know, like in gameplay, just have her make jewelry or whatever. Or maybe, maybe I could build a little drawer shop or jewelry shop. Make her like a little gemstone creator. I can't say that word. I think it's jeweler. Leave a comment down below. Is it jeweler or jewelry maker, gemstone? My dad used to call them rock hounds because he actually could not say that word. Here I'm just like arguing with this mirror trying to get it to like line up, and it actually ended up not lining up. Um, some mirrors when they clip to the wall, I can't bring them down with the zero key. So I like took the mirrors. I think I'm not sure if they're base game or not. I'm not sure. I like line them up to make it like one big mirror. Here we're just kind of like adding some like holes on the walls, some like cracks where they're hidden behind furniture, imperfections to make it, make it more look run down. But yeah, I really enjoyed this apartment. Like I said, like I really like enjoyed the idea that it looks run down. I can do that with like cracks and um, right here I put like a crack on the wall and I put it where maybe Molly like made some quilting squares and framed them or found like some old quilting squares that someone's grandmother didn't get a chance to finish before they passed away and covered them up with posters or whatnot and pictures. She framed them and hung them up over a crack on her wall that she didn't like. Um, but yeah, we're nearing the end of the speed build. Screenshots are at the end and I'm actually surprised I managed to talk to you guys for almost 26 minutes, which is surprising for me because usually, I go, hey guys, and I'm off of there and you're listening to music and watching a speed build. Right here, I had to end up coming back in a recording because I realized after I uploaded it, there's not a desk in this room. So you might have to go in and add one, but I thought it'd be cool. Maybe he built this desk with his dad or grandfather or whatever. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed and the screenshots are coming up. Until next time, this is Sims Levy. Like and subscribe.